In the last few videos, we've been talking about how those bass are laser focused on a particular pattern right now and how they're ignoring almost everything else. We've talked about using clear topwater baits to get good blowups by exploiting what it is those bass are after. Today, we're going to elaborate on that and show that it's not just a pattern, but it's a mindset that we need to adapt whenever we're bass fishing this time of year. Stick around, we're going to talk all about it. There we go, I got him. Ooh, that's a nice one. That's a good fish, kids. That's a good fish. Oh, you ain't going anywhere. I got him pretty good. I've got him pretty good. Oh, there we go. Welcome back to Lowbrow Fishing, and it never fails. Every year at this time, we hear the same exact thing. Go big or go home. Tie on your biggest glide baits, break out your biggest deep diving crankbaits, break out your 3/4 ounce, 1 ounce wobblehead jigs, and thread on a 10-inch, 12-inch, 14-inch worm and chase after those giants. And don't get me wrong, it can be a great way to catch some really big bass, but not right now. As we've been talking about, those bass are laser focused on something in particular. The shad spawn has just happened, and the sunfish spawn has just happened, and those fry have hatched, filling the water with millions of tiny little minnows that are swimming around all over the place. You can see them from a boat or from the bank. You see those little fish just swimming everywhere very quickly, and they're always being chased by a group of bass. If you manage to catch a bass, you notice how fat and tummied up they are. That's because the bass just have to swim around with their mouth open. It's an easy meal and why they don't want to bite anything else. It's hard to break them away from that pattern. In the last video, we talked about using clear topwater baits to mimic those floundering fish that have been slapped at by the bass, and it's a great way to get bites. But there's something else in that video that, if you noticed, we're going to be touching on that today, how it's not just a bait shift, but a paradigm shift for this time of year that can really add up to some great days on the water. But before we get started, if you like bass fishing content that always tries to be inclusive, whether you fish from a boat or whether you're fishing from the bank, and always thinking about budget because not everyone has a lot of money to spend on bass fishing gear, then this is the channel for you. Click that subscribe button down below. And while you're down there, give this video a like. I would really appreciate it. And hey, if you haven't yet, check out my new Patreon. The link is in the description. It's a place where I can interact with you guys on a much more personal level. You guys can help me choose video topics, and I can even create personalized tip videos just for you. So if you haven't yet, check it out. So what am I talking about? Well, the clear topwater bite is amazing. It's produced fish for me every single time I've had it out to the water. But there's something else about these. This is a smaller type of walking / popper. And the other types of topwater that I've been using, like this Booyah Prank, this is smaller and clear. So I'm going with those smaller baits as well. I've really pared down the size of the baits that I'm using. You know, this, as far as a walking bait goes, is very thin. It's pretty short. It doesn't make nearly as much splash or commotion on the top of the water. It's caught me some really nice fish ever since I started throwing it. Immediately, I saw an improvement in the amount of bites I was getting whenever I switched to these clear topwater baits. Something like this little Booyah Prank. This is the smaller size, and I'm not sure the color of this, something moonshine or moonshad or something like that, but it's translucent and it works. It's been getting me those bites. But let's say you want to fish another pattern, and there are other ways you can go after those fish. Another thing that I have been using that has been very, very effective for me is a small swim bait, and it makes sense. This is just a 3-inch swim bait. It's a Crush City, Rapala Crush City. And you can see I've been going through these things because I've been getting destroyed. It's a great little swim bait. I've just got it on a 1/8 ounce small jig head. I've been fishing those in probably anywhere from 5 to 10 feet of water. And I've actually been pretty fast with the retrieve. Those minnows move pretty fast and they're very energetic and erratic. So I've been trying to imitate that with the swim bait, something like a 3.25 Rage Swimmer. But I'm trying to keep it as small as I can. If I can go below 3 inches, I will be using that as well. But I'm only putting it on a very light jig head. And that's what's been working for me. Something smaller, something worked a little bit more quickly and a little bit more erratically. And I've been able to get some nice bites working that pattern. So moving on with that philosophy. Whenever I'm seeing busting bass, you guys have heard me talk about it, I stand there and I wait to see the bass busting before I cast. Because if I've got a line in the water and I see the bass busting, I reel it in and I cast over there, it's too late, they're gone. So another bait that I've been using to capitalize on that is, well, a smaller size jerk bait. Now this is that chrome, this is not clear, this is a chrome color because the reflectivity matches a lot of those little fry. As they move through the water, they have that flash glinting off of them. And again, I'm trying to go as small as I can. This is just little KVD 200. And this has been working wonders for me. A lot of times I'll see those bass busting and I can fire this right in there and get a couple of nice fish. So working this quickly. I'm working this very, very quickly. Again, trying to mimic how those little fry, how those swarms are just swimming around. They're not going slow. They're going fast. So those bass are going fast. And if they want to eat something, they expect whatever it is they're going after to be moving fast. So we're going smaller and we're going faster. Right there. Right there. I see you guys. Look at all that. Look at all that. That is nuts, isn't it? When you see all that, you can't even get a sniff. Got it. There we go. That one's pulling pretty good. There we go. All right. No, you're not going anywhere, my friend. You are a good fish. All right. You went after it. Finally got a... Oops, I'm going to lay you down so I can give you some more line because I don't want to be hurting your face. Come on, get the line out. There we go. Get the line out. All right. Let me get you off of here and get you back in the water so I can catch another one. That's fine. I'll use that one. I gotta get back in that water. There we go. Pound and, I don't know, pound and a quarter. Close to a pound and a half. Beautiful fish. Beautiful fish. Thank you so much for playing. And there he went. Let's go get another one. Another great lure to go even smaller than that is a Rebel minnow. And you see I've got the split shot here because that actually helps it suspend. I can work this really quickly in some deeper water. And I'm still putting some pauses in there. I'm not like twitch, twitch, pause like I would be in the wintertime. I'm working it faster and more frenetically, but I'm still putting some pauses in there for a second or two, not very long, before I start working it again and again. I'm working it pretty quickly. I'm working it very energetically. And that tips off those bass. They go crazy over it, and I get some really huge strikes. And lastly, well, a smaller crankbait. Rather than using something huge, this is a Bandit 200. It gets down to probably about 8 to 10 feet. But with this guy right here, I'm able to, again, mimic what those bass are going after. I can get it right down into those minnow clouds, right into those fry clouds, and I can work it through there. And I'm going pretty fast. I'm burning it for a minute, and then I give it a pause. And then I burn it again for a minute, and then I give it another pause. And it's been phenomenal. I've been able to use these presentations not just to catch more bites, but I'm actually catching some pretty nice fish. So instead of going bigger all the time, we want to go bigger baits, bigger lures, bigger presentations. You can catch some fish doing that. I'm not going to say that you're not, but on those really tough days, I'm telling you, go small, use something like a small little swim bait, right? You can even go smaller than this. You'd be amazed at just how well a lot of those tiny baits work, because those fry are small, and that's what the bass are focused on. Now, it lasts for a few weeks, and then they get out of it as those clouds disperse, and those fry that are left find their little hidey holes, and they feed and they grow, and the bass start to focus more on that, especially as we move into the fall. But for right now, they are focused on those tiny little fish. And we need to have that mindset. Rather than going big, we need to go as small as we can, as twitchy and as frenetic as we possibly can. And I'm telling you what, that's going to get you more strikes. You'll actually go out to the lake rather than being frustrated at seeing those minnows and seeing the bass busting and not catching any fish at all. You'll end up turning that around and being able to capitalize on what those bass are doing. And that's what we need to do, rather than guessing, rather than hoping, rather than just wishing that we were catching fish. We need to understand what we're seeing on the water, and that's what we need to do. We need to shift that paradigm. Rather than following them, we need to be able to predict what they're doing, why they're doing it that way, and capitalize on it. And for as long as you can, that pattern will be there. Whenever the bass shift out of it, then you can move on to something else that should work just as good, as long as you're focusing on what it is those bass are doing. If you want to go to the big glide baits or the big crankbaits on your fishery, that most definitely might be there. After all the fry have been eaten, after all the clouds have dispersed, a lot of those bass, especially the big girls, might go deep, or again, they'll go shallow depending on how the pressure goes. And you can chase them with the big jigs and the big crankbaits that you're used to. But right now, I'm telling you, go small, go fast. Work top water, work the middle of the water column, and try to imitate those little fry as best you can. You'll be amazed at how well that works. So there you have it. It doesn't have to be complicated. Go small, go fast, especially if you're seeing those clouds of small fry and minnows on your fishery. It really does make a difference, and you go from having a summer grind to a summer bonanza. Thanks for watching Lowbrow Fishing. We'll catch you in the next one.